For many students, the 42nd and 44th constitutional amendments are easy to confuse during an exam, leading to errors on high-frequency questions. The most effective way to separate these two events is to first secure their exact years of enactment in your memory. For the 42nd Amendment, simply add the digits 4 and 2 to get 6. This identifies the year as 1976. The same logic applies to the 44th Amendment. 4 plus 4 equals 8, which gives you the year 1978. Establishing these dates provides the necessary context to analyze the specific legislative changes that occurred in each year. In 1976, the 42nd Amendment transferred 5 specific subjects from the state list to the concurrent list. This meant that instead of only states having authority, the central parliament could now also legislate on these 5 matters. This shift is documented in Solution 4A, which confirms that the 1976 Act moved these 5 subjects to the 7th Schedule's concurrent list. To remember these 5 subjects, imagine an educated student who travels into a forest. He uses his weights and measures to conduct a specific research project. His study focuses on wild animals and birds and advocates for the prevention of cruelty toward them. This mental sequence allows you to recall the transferred subjects without relying on repetitive rote memorization. By 1978, the focus shifted. The 44th Amendment introduced a major change to property rights. The government encountered legal obstacles when acquiring land for public projects because property ownership was an absolute right for citizens. To address this, the amendment removed the right to property from the list of fundamental rights and reclassified it as a legal right under a different section of the Constitution. Solution 2C details this transition, explaining that while Article 31 previously protected property as a fundamental right, it is now a constitutional legal right under Article 300A. This change leads to a common exam question. If the state acquires your land today, can you bypass lower courts to seek a remedy? Specifically, can you appeal directly to the Supreme Court for a violation of your rights? The answer is no. Because property is a legal right under Article 300A, you cannot approach the Supreme Court directly. You must follow the standard legislative and judicial procedures. This distinction between legal rights and fundamental rights highlights the concept of justiciability, or whether a right can be enforced by a court of law. Fundamental rights are justiciable, meaning they are the legally enforceable protections that citizens can defend in court if they are violated. This contrasts with directive principles of state policy, which are non-justiciable. They are goals for the government to strive toward, but they cannot be enforced through a lawsuit. The textbook confirms this in Solution 5D, stating that while fundamental rights allow citizens to approach the courts, directive principles do not provide that same legal recourse. By grouping these facts, we see that the 42nd Amendment adjusted the legislative lists in 1976, while the 44th Amendment reclassified property rights in 1978. Understanding the specific legal logic behind these two amendments ensures you can accurately distinguish between them on any exam.